Hey there, Todd with Tribble Painting. Today we're talking about aluminum siding. Can I paint it? How do I paint it? Does it need to be painted? Stay tuned, we'll tell you all those things and more about your aluminum siding. So today we're at aluminum sided home and we're going to talk over the process we use for painting aluminum siding. First thing, how do you know when it's time to paint your aluminum siding? Well, aluminum siding comes factory finished when it's new and installed. So overall, you don't ever have to paint aluminum siding, but we find once aluminum siding reaches the 20-year mark or so, it starts to oxidize. And oxidation looks like this. It's basically chalkiness of your previous coating that came from the factory. So we find at that point people generally are looking at, hey, what are my options with my siding? So aluminum siding can be painted. We find the keys to painting are in the washing process, the cleaning of it prior to the painting, and then using the correct type of paint. So the first thing you want to do is power wash the house with a mild bleach and water solution, generally scrubbing to get this oxidation off. You'll never get all of it off. We want to get as much of it off as possible. And then we find that if you use a high quality paint such as Benjamin Moore or Sherwin-Williams, that paint will actually bite into any chalky residue that's left. And that's a key for the longevity of the paint job. Of course, prior to painting, we want to caulk anything that needs to be caulked, fill any holes that might have occurred in the aluminum siding, and generally then you're ready for a paint job. So how do you apply your paint? Well, aluminum paint's very easy, and it takes paint by brush, roller, or as we like to do it, by spray. So we use an airless sprayer. We would mask all the parts of the home that aren't going to be painted, such as the brick, cover up the lights, cover up any windows that aren't going to be painted, and then we apply 2 coats of Benjamin Moore or Sherwin-Williams type product to the entirety of the aluminum siding. If you use this process to paint your siding, you're going to get 10 plus years out of it. We actually repaint aluminum siding that we've painted previously more because the client is tired of the color and just ready for a change rather than it needs painting for some reason. So if you paint your aluminum siding, you can expect a really long life out of that paint job if you follow these steps. So if you're wondering, does my house need to be painted? Let's look at what oxidation would look like with a aluminum sided on top and a brick sided home on the lower portion. You can see this white aluminum siding, and just below it you see how the white on the brick, that actually is oxidation as rain has run down the siding. It's washed that powdery coating onto the brick, and that's a sign that your siding is oxidizing even if you haven't touched it to realize that. And this could be a sign it's time for your next paint job. But the key, if you decide not to paint or you decide to paint, really is to wash this off. And again, a bleach and water solution or a TSP solution that you scrub really well and then rinse. That's the key if you're going to paint or if you're just trying to eliminate this oxidation from your siding. So we talked earlier about caulking, and every home, even if it's aluminum sided, has some caulking that's going to need to be done. We find around windows, around the chimney like Weston's doing here. Sometimes there's nail holes from things that have been hung over the years. Caulking is important for heat loss, to keep bugs and moisture out of your home. So don't skip this step, even if you have an aluminum sided home. Looking for things that need to be caulked prior to the paint job is key. So our application methods for painting aluminum siding, you can use a brush, roller, or airless sprayer, and I'm going to show you all 3 today. So we have our cut bucket with a 2.5-inch brush, and you can see it does go on fairly easy, but your coverage is not great. This is going to be a 2-coat application regardless of which method you use. So you see the brushing. Here we have some rolling, slightly better application. Now with both of those you can tell the texture that's left, which is different from the smooth coating that was applied in the factory originally. So now I'm going to switch to an airless paint sprayer, which is our preferred method of application. And you're going to see the difference both in the speed of application, the amount of coverage, and also how even it looks. as compared to brushing and or rolling. So that gives you some idea of the differences between brushing, rolling, and the use of an airless paint sprayer for painting your aluminum siding. Again, we prefer the airless paint sprayer. If you have that as an option, I think you'll be very happy with the end results. It's going to save you time. It's also going to give you great coverage, and the look is going to be fantastic. And so if you don't own an airless paint sprayer, you can rent these at most local tool rental shops. So they're not difficult to figure out how to use, and I would explore that opportunity if you haven't. Hey, thanks for watching our video. Hope you found it helpful. Remember, aluminum siding does not have to be painted, but if you choose to paint it, remember our simple steps. Make sure it's thoroughly cleaned, make sure your caulk is needed, and make sure to apply 100% acrylic paint in whatever application method you choose. Thanks again for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe.